Howdy all, welcome to Nerd Studio. Another sunny day out here in North Carolina. About 60 degrees today. Got a little cold last night, but I think we're through it. I want to take some time today and talk a little bit more about this. This is the HK VP9. So along with the VP9, I started actually replacing some of my guns with the Glock equivalents. And so I'm kind of coming down to a choice. Do I kind of settle on the VP9 as a carry gun, and I think the actual comparison here is the Glock 19. They both have a similar capacity. They're very similar in size, or I mean almost identical. I think comes right down to it. The VP9 is a little taller in the magazine, so perhaps a little harder to conceal, but not by much. A couple of things that I really like about this gun is it ergonomically it fits my hands better. It has a better palm swell for the doll hands, and I like that. I also have less trouble with the trigger dingus on the VP9. Now, that being said, I think I've always said these Glocks, they're not comfortable. They never have been. In fact, it's what kept me away from them. But, when it comes down to target shooting these guns, I shoot them both about the same. And in fact, I think you'll see that, sort of combat shooting, I really hesitate to use that term, but, moving targets and sort of, anything bullseye shooting, I think I'm pretty equivalent with both of them. So it's a bit of a hard decision. Let's shoot a few rounds and then I'll talk a little bit more about really what I think the perks of each gun is. And I'm not going to make a decision today, but as is the tradition here on Nerd Gone South, I kind of want to take you through the process with me. So this is sort of the next stage of it, my comfort level after, 300-400 rounds for each gun. So let's shoot a few rounds because, hey, that's what we do, and then I'll finish up. there you go. You know, I've got a ways to go before I choose between one or the other. You know, concealability, I think they're about the same. The Glock might have a slight edge. It probably is going to print a little less. The place where the Glock is the clear winner is accessories and availability of things like magazines and upgrades. The Glock shoot fine out of the box. All three that I have had triggers done on them. So as the trigger goes, at least on the you know the function of it, they're pretty comparable. The VP9 and my Glocks. I guess the flexibility of the grip in the VP9, the ability to change out the side panels and the back strap, and really sort of mold the thing to your hand, is a positive point. I haven't actually done that. That's probably one of my next steps. The other problem I have in doing the comparison or making a final decision is I don't have a holster that is for the EP9 yet. This one I'm using is just a holster with no retention that was designed for the FNX, and it's enough to sort of do it, but the height of it isn't correct. And so you probably are seeing some in the video here where I'm not actually drawing it out of the holster. And that's fine for now. I'm not actually trying to practice the draw with it yet, as much as I am sort of target acquisition, getting the sight up, how quick can I get it on target. And I think, you know, either one is comparable. The one clear advantage that the VP9 has for me is I have less trouble with the trigger dingus. And I purely think that's about grip. You can see me shooting the 19, having to readjust, and the big concern there is if I can't master that grip, and heaven forbid I should actually have to use one of that pistol to defend myself, I could pull the trigger, nothing happened, and it's, you know, that could make a difference. So only time will tell there. I don't think that's a problem with the gun or a problem with the trigger job that was done on it. I think that's purely my hands with that piece in it, and we'll see. Well, I mean, we'll all watch and see just how well I adjust to it, and if I can. I think sort of follow-up shots, the Glock has a slight edge for me. I can get that thing back on target. I can double tap better with it. It shoots so straight. The recoil is straight back, and I manage it, I think, slightly better than I do with the VP9. Of course, I have a little more practice with the Glock, so that could be it too. You know, they're great. Both are great guns. It's going to be a tough decision to make. One other advantage the Glock has is I have the 17, the 19, and the 26, and they all feel the same. The triggers feel the same. The sights are the same. I can use one holster for all of them. I mean, that's not for naught. That's a pretty big deal. Frankly, I'm leaning toward the Glock at this point, just because of how everything is so readily accessible. The other thing that we don't know anything about really is the reliability of the VP9. Glock has been put through the ringer. We know it's reliable. It's proven that time and time again. You know, there's tons of torture tests out there. I haven't seen anybody willing to take that HK VP9 and put it through a torture test yet. Somebody's going to do it, and I'm sure the factory's done some, but you know, only time's going to tell with that gun whether it's going to hold up like a Glock. So we'll see. I think in the next video I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to take the VP9 apart and talk a little bit about sort of the slide, because it does appear to function slightly differently than the rest of the polymer pistols that I've seen. It has what I think is a safety mechanism in there that flaps back and forth. So we'll take a look at that in the next video. that may be a reliability issue. I don't know. I don't know that much about how this slide is built, so I'll try and do some reading on that before I do a video on it, just because I'm curious myself and want to try and give an opinion on what I think what I think that is. We'll see. I mean, you can't put too much stock in me just eyeballing something and reading some stuff on the internet, so that's kind of a grain of salt. Well, what else can I tell you? I think at this point, I can tell you they're both fantastic guns. The VP9 has an amazing crisp trigger. I love the ergonomics of that VP9. I love the sights on the VP9. That the front sight looks very large. It gives a nice sight picture. I'm going to be probably the next week or two shooting the VP9 mostly to try and sort of catch up with the feel for the kind of to the place I am with the Glock. And we'll see how it goes. All right, well, I guess I'm out of stuff to say. Hey, if you got an opinion, don't forget to comment in the videos. And, if you're watching this the first time you've been to the channel, subscribe. Come join us and join in on the fun. But your subscription helps me. Also, your comments help me to continue to make videos, and I appreciate that. And it's a lot of fun having the conversation. So, and bug. All right, got him. That was target acquisition. What else? All right, always remember, anyone can shoot. And anyone can shoot and have fun, because that's really mostly what this is about. It's a lot of fun, and it gets my wide body up out of the seat and outdoors. And that's a good thing. We'll see you next time.